yesterday, a two-bit expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, cause the headlines, man, they all just go to plan. Their brains are fixed and breaking, you know they're all just spam. So buckle down, look right in, it crawls its way under your skin. Just got by all the things they spout, and it won't make you shout. Give me that good news.
What do you want good news for there, Cappuccino? Are you tired of that same old shit? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday in 216 with the Grounds with Giles and Jones. I'm Giles. The little man stepping in here is Jones. It's cold outside. And Drew Cappuccino in to visit with us again today. So welcome.
Listen, first, quick couple shout outs to our friends over at Heady Cup. Heady Cup is the fuel that drives 21.6 to that. Right here, folks. Look at this. Hallelujah. Good stuff.
Hallelujah.
Lifeblood. Peatberry today.
It's awesome.
It's good. What's the flavor? What do you think of it?
I haven't hit it yet. It's a little warm for me still. I'm one of those guys that has to let my coffee cool out.
It's got kind of a fruity, good taste there.
I don't know what it tastes like at room temperature. Let me know how that works.
You got all that cream and sugar and stuff in it.
White and sweet like me.
Smells good, white and sweet.
And of course, Uncle Pete's out there. Everybody, be part of this show. This is the only show that you can be part of as a guest. Put that right into your URL, your URL. Throw on your camera, your microphone, and come on in and be part of this. I mean, worldwide, famous, worldwide,
yeah,
right,
famous. You want to be on the world? My mic is not picking up. All right, fantastic. I don't know what that means.
So everything he just said was
right.
Wait. Lip movement. Isn't that just crazy?
Technical. Drew's not allowed to play alone anymore.
There we go. Just you got to take it off of mute. That's all done.
Mutant.
My first show. So.
Mutant.
Yeah, it's my first show.
You'll learn as you go.
That's it.
So Drew, did you hear what happened last night over in Mr. Kent's neighborhood?
No.
So I come in and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, not a whole lot. I had a shelter in place last night. And I'm like, what?
I had a guy running around with a gun in the backyard.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but
in your backyard?
Yeah, we live on the south side.
So say
McHenry.
But it was just so weird because the fact when I listened to him say that and he talked about it, was like just matter of fact. No, it was just shelter in place, no big deal.
Police were chasing him through the field behind us, and he had a gun. And
is that where we've become as a
I got away
as a
it's
town?
fine.
What?
I got away.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I noticed the mud on your shoes.
I wasn't wearing pants either. You didn't notice that.
Oh,
that's no gun. Never mind.
But you were so nonchalant about saying that. I'm like, oh my God, is that really where we've come as a society? That I was just shelter in place. There's a guy running around with a gun. You seem so matter of fact. I mean, granted, it's
his right. He can run around with a gun. Yeah.
But you just seemed like it was just like, all
right,
it
was
what it
was,
is.
It was a big deal.
For me, that freaks me out. That pisses me off. Freaks me out.
Why?
That you got a guy running around, what we can perceive as a safe area to live. I mean, you got a very nice neighborhood that you live in, and the last thing you think about is a guy running around your neighborhood with a gun. Granted, I know that stuff happens, but just how nonchalant you were about that it happened to me was kind of like you're almost decent. Like we as a society is desensitized to shit happening. Just crazy.
Do you own guns?
Happens. I do own guns, but I don't run around with them out in the street.
Well, it's his.
What are you?
It's his.
What fun am I?
It is that man's constitutional right to have a firearm.
To carry and bear armed, right?
Right. So why should that scare me? That's like me being scared that you have the right to say whatever you want on that microphone.
Well, that should scare you.
Maybe scares a lot of people.
He's
here.
got a show, Kent. I don't know if you know.
Maybe scares a lot of people here, but you understand what I'm saying? It's your constitutional right.
Right. No, I get that part. And really, the concept, the thing, the real reason I was bringing it up was because you were just so nonchalant about the fact that it happened, right? And I mean,
I might be different if bullets came whipping through my window or the guy tried to break into my house. That might be a different story. But was it?
Well, I think it comes down to what you're used to, what you're not used to. I grew up a little bit different.
Well, you grew up in the city. It's a different story.
Well, I mean, listen, you're kind of you're kind of an adrenaline junkie, right? So
Me?
yeah, like,
Yeah.
yo, did you see that guy just like
Jump
launch
out of a
the
plane?
helicopter
Right.
with skis on and go down the side of that mountain? That guy's fucking nuts. Who would do that? And you're like, see that every day. I do that all the time.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
that's
you
on
know,
my bucket list.
Right.
It's on
right.
my
Right. So,
Right.
I mean, it's just, I guess it's what you're used to and what you're not used to. I mean, listen, it can piss you off, but that doesn't change it. And now is that guy, now he's running from the cops, correct?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
they were
he's running
chasing
from the cops.
Yeah.
Is that because he had a gun? We don't know what he did. So listen, the tool isn't the
Right.
problem. You know that. The tool isn't the problem. It's the tool holding the tool. That's the problem.
That's right.
Right. So did the guy do something bad, grab his gun and run? I don't know.
Well, that's for me. That's irrelevant. The point I was just kind of making was just how nonchalant you were.
Why do
about
I
that
have to get? Why should that
Just
bother
be-
me?
Well, I mean, for me, it'd be like, holy shit, dude! There's a guy running through our neighborhood with a gun. We had to shelter in place. You're like, yeah, we had to shelter. In
I
place.
didn't.
Guy
I
running
didn't
from
even
my
know there
gun.
was a shelter in place. So I got up to Panera, and one of the guys I was having coffee was like, "Hey, what's going on in your neighborhood?" I go, "There's a guy running around with a gun." Oh man, there was shelter in place. Do they got? I go, I think they caught him already. I don't know. I got out. And then I'm like, how did you know there was a shelter in place? He's like, he subscribed to Nixle. I'm like, cool, I will too. So now Nixle, if you go to Nixle, Nixle, you can get I don't know what they're called, updates or whatnot on what's going on from the police department, things like that.
Oh, that's
Like
cool.
a police scanner.
So,
or something.
but it's
You're
worth
welcome, Nixel, for that plug.
Yeah, that
the
plug.
invoice will
Check.
be in the mail.
But what it works is, like when they had the parade, it'll say stay away from this route, so you can.
Has some good, valuable information around your local town.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, cool. So I signed up for it. It's cool.
All right.
But to me, my neighbors might have a gun.
No, I'm sure they probably do.
You own gun. You own gun. I don't care.
I own plenty of guns. My thing, like I said, my thing was just the fact that it was how nonchalant. For me, I would have been like, holy crap, there's a guy running around with a gun.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Is it more concerning that he had a gun or was running around? Because then you're a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not
Because
so
you
much-
own a gun. And if it was because of the gun that scares you, that would freak you out,
No,
then
the
there's
fact-
the problem.
No, the fact, well, you're not supposed to be running around your neighborhood with a gun.
He's got a concealed carry license. Why can't he?
Yeah.
He absolutely can.
He did have a
You
concealed
see?
carry.
So you
Well,
this
no, I
is-
don't know. I don't know the exact facts. It's just right, like the thing that I'm saying is just how you said it.
if I would have said, man, holy shit, this guy was running around my neighborhood.
Right.
Holy fuck, dude! What? A guy was running around.
Do you
But I
want
said,
over
yeah, some dude with a
exaggerated?
gun running around the neighborhood, and you're like, what? A gun?
It sounds like
really, really
sounds like an
Friday.
80s cartoon.
I know.
I can't.
I don't know.
I can't. And now, look at that. Isn't that a great new logo? 216 Creator Studios, our new
Yeah, look
logo.
at
Isn't that
that.
beautiful?
Look at that. Who created
Shayna,
that?
how are you? Good morning. Let's see. Let me get there. All right. She says, when you have something more intense to compare, like a gun in your face, you already geared up to process. Coping mechanisms show different on us all. If it is, good morning. I don't know why my mouse
It's
isn't.
not working. Your mouse.
I must
needs some
have
more
low
cheese.
batteries.
Need some more cheese in that mouse.
I don't know what's happening. Anyway, there you go. Sorry, Shayna, I can't get it up on the screen.
Thank God we're internet.
You understand what I'm saying? So here's
I follow what you're saying.
so why does
totally.
that bother you? It's because of the gun.
Well, no, it just bothers me that, well, guns are a big fact in today's life. I mean, I have a bunch of them. I have concealed carry. That's not a problem. I don't go around. Nobody knows that I have it. Now they do, but nobody really knows.
That was the best representation of Scott ever.
Scott just pulled the Scott.
I just pulled this.
That was me freaking out like Scott. Yeah.
I don't freak out though. That's the thing. I don't freak out. But for me, it was just if I knew that somebody was running around my neighborhood, regardless that it's his God-given right, his legal right, it's just still a little unnerving, and I would have a little bit more excitement behind my, telling you about it than just there's a guy running around my neighborhood.
Well, what would what could I do?
I don't know.
I was sleeping, getting out of bed.
know.
I was in the shower, and then I went about my day. What would
Just
my
in
excitement?
for me, it'd be like, holy shit, dude! Did you hear? There's a guy running around my neighborhood with a gun.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I used to hunt in Westfield, Wisconsin. We had farmland out that way, and even because what does that say?
He's just bothered because I appear to be braver than him.
Oh God!
Good morning, Tim Santos.
I don't know if that's bravery.
What's up, Coach?
Look at Shane. I'm gonna throw you up there because now I got it going on. Yeah.
There you go.
So hunting in Westfield, when because coming from the city, originally going out there was so awkward, so country, right?
Yeah.
And we're all sitting at the table, me and a bunch of friends. We had our guns on the table, we were cleaning them. It was at night. We're whatever drinking, doing whatever kids do then. It's about midnight. Someone walks up to the porch. We don't know who they are. We're in the middle of nowhere. They knock on the door. I'm like, oh, that's not cool. So we're all looking at the guns and like, well, open the door. So we open the door, and there's this guy in a coat. He's got a hat on. He's got ice coming off of his beard. He's got 2 dead rabbits tied to his side. And he's got his gun.
That's an interesting visual,
And
isn't it?
he's like, my truck broke down. You guys help me out. And I was like, who's going to get sacrificed today?
Yeah, who's getting shot over being polite?
Wasn't even like that at all, man. I mean, he was like, hey, you mind if I skin these right here? I'm like, yeah, go for it, man. He's like, hey, you guys hungry? I'm like, stew. I was like, oh, yeah, let's do it.
I'll make us stew.
Dude came in. That's what it was like. But that's what it was like there.
Right.
And everybody, and then we ended up driving him back to his farm. And he was the coolest dude. He became friends with us for every time we come. Hey,
well, sure, because he saw the armory on the coffee table.
He saw the armory on the table.
His armory made ours look like
sure,
like we were children.
Right.
Yeah, but that was the mode. That's the mode you guys are in. You're up there hunting. You're in gun mode. You're in gun. I don't want to say gun country,
but that's just
stereotypical. But being in Kent's neighborhood, which is a very nice neighborhood, and having that happen, yes, it does happen. But I just felt like you're almost. I just feel like we're almost desensitized a little bit more to be. That nonchalant with it.
Okay, so here's the deal. You go to Ken's neighborhood, really nice neighborhood, right? Hey, Ken's, how you doing? And they're mowing the lawn and everybody's great. Hey, Walter, great to see you today. Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? Yeah, that's great. Then you got the guy running across with the gun. You have no idea he is, right? Then you find out down the line that Walter's got a barrel of dead babies in his basement. I would rather see the guy with the fucking gun.
Well, of course you would, but that's not that's not the subject. That's not what I'm talking.
But no, what I'm saying is it's in your face. Don't be pissed off about it being in your face. At least you see it. It's the stuff that you don't see you should worry about. Is what I'm saying.
That has nothing to do with it. That's not.
Where are the banjos?
Where are the banjos?
So that's what I'm saying.
Right, but I don't know anything about that until I know about it. Well, I'll respond. I'll respond accordingly when I find out about it.
Here's what I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around. We're desensitized about a guy running through a neighborhood,
getting chased by cops.
Why should that worry me? Why should it worry me? When I was a kid, and here's why I have a hard time wrapping my head around this. When I was a kid, we'd run all night. Hey, we're gonna sleep out in the tent in the backyard, Mom and Dad. Scatter.
Well, I guess the idea
and we're running around the neighborhood.
I'm gonna step on this side of the tracks with him a little bit. All right. So the idea is this.
Thanks.
You live in a neighborhood that's a good neighborhood, right? And there's kind of a shutdown in your neighborhood because somebody's running from the cops. But the word gun is what really brightens that horizon, right?
Well,
so that's why he's like, hey, listen, why are there cops chasing people through your goddamn yard? Take the word gun out of it. Because that's bad. Well, he could have done something, maybe murdered somebody down the street, broke into a house. That could be your house next. That's why he's upset. Take the word gun out of it. You put the word gun in it, and then it just kind of like, let's sprinkle a little more brightness on the horizon. That's what he's saying.
It still doesn't. To me, I listen.
But to you, it's like this guy running through my yard.
Right. Yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean,
oh look, there's cops running through my yard too. Maybe they're playing
chasing kids. I mean, as you and I grew up, I mean, we probably got chased quite a few times by cops, right? For doing things. But for me, it just takes it that next
level. Laying in the weeds, shooting bottle rockets at the cops.
Right. But it's also like you'd be sitting there talking about, oh my God, remember when we were kids, we were getting chased because we ding dong ditch or we TP'd someone's house, right? It's a different story now because now you've got a deadly weapon carrying with it, which he has every right to have, right? And that's the reason I'm saying is it just seemed like you were very nonchalant about it. Because for me, I'm going, holy shit!
Everything's
Think about
a deadly weapon.
It is true. It is true. It is true. But
Why
I mean,
get excited about it? Police did their job. And you know what? Had my neighbor not said that there was somebody around, guess who would never have known?
Yeah, it just seems like
so.
It's
why get my panties all up in a bunch and go? We need a new mayor. What?
what does the mayor got to do with that?
This is
Right?
the way people are. Man. Listen, I don't care. Listen, and you know what? Here's the truth. Dude comes running through my door with a gun. Not much I'm gonna do. I don't own any guns. Why get? Hey, if it's my time, God, take me. Whatever. Here we go. Right? That's out of my control. That's I could.
Well, it is out of your. It is.
I could be
control,
sitting here.
100%.
We could be sitting here, and a plane could drop on the studio. And then what? Oh, yeah, you idiots are desensitized that a plane flew overhead.
The perps and the cops are playing
Right.
flag football. What is that?
Playing capture the flag. Yeah. Right. I don't know. Freeze tag, maybe. Who knows?
Well,
Right.
and so I'm off of Coventry, and we had the kid 2 houses down who I know. He's a little bit of a troublemaker, but he's a good kid at heart. Wrong crowd. And
Which happens.
someone fired a 380 through his window twice in the neighborhood, and then the whole neighborhood was kind of up in arms. And when I saw him, I was like, "What's going on?"
Well, that took it to the next level. They actually fired the gun.
They
You
fired
know
the
what
gun
I mean?
through
That's.
it.
I mean,
Through-
that takes it to
through
a
his
totally
bedroom
different level.
window.
Yeah, there was an intent
Right.
there.
And then it was like, I don't know, a month down the line on the 900 block was somebody fired 4 guns into the side of this dude's house.
In Crystal Lake.
Yeah, in a different house. That's like a half a block down from me.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody, but it was all, I'm going to tell you what it was. It was a bunch of kids that got their hands on guns that were trying to scare or intentionally hurt somebody that thought that they were the gangbangers of Crystal Lake. I don't.
Why is he so nonchalant? You're not going to get on him?
Well, I'm letting
Yeah.
him finish his comment. Well, and that, to me, that sucks. You're so not. Well, you grew up in the city, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, to have a gun or to have something going, and I'm not trying, but
That's
that was something.
That.
I was going to say, but that was something you were more accustomed to living in the city. It wasn't as big a deal, right? When you come out to a suburbanites, yes, it's out here, but it's not something that is prevalent. But
It's a bunch of
not
kids pretending they're from the city.
Right, but it's something
Which
that
makes it actually more
something
dangerous.
that I never grew up with. I mean, worst thing that I grew up with as kids, was people out there hunting or people running around with motorcycles and bicycles. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Beating people up, but not gun. And that's just the thing is when it comes to me, it's just it's a gun. To coming from you to make that comment, it's a gun, being that you grew up in the city, because shit, all night long you hear gunshots and stuff like that.
They had motorcycles when you were a kid?
Yeah, right.
Motorcycles.
But and him growing up out in the cornfields of Iowa, right? It's a different play on things. It's something that's expected. Well, because in the city, that's a normal, typical daily occurrence. I lived in the city. I worked in the city for many years. So to hear a gunshot was no big deal, or to know someone's got a gun is no big deal. But
you could pull in. You could
in our little community here is a little bit just.
Look at that! Isn't that a great logo? 216 Creator Studio.
Oh my god!
Look at how nice that is.
Did he have something to do with this new logo?
Yeah, we both did.
Oh, well, I don't like it.
It's awesome. Now, growing up where I grew up at, guess what? You pull into the high school parking lot, and there were more guns in that high school parking lot than there are.
Right, in their trucks and stuff, because you're out. Right, but to have your guy running through town, like in this town, this is not a common thing to have happening in the town of McHenry, and that's all I'm really getting at. It was like,
but you're fine with it until the word gun comes up, and you have gun.
Well, because a kid. Right, it's the
just
word
because
gun.
of the word
right.
gun.
That's the one that perks my attention.
You've bought into all of the garbage that's out there
that
the media wants you to buy.
I don't pay attention to that. You're the one that brought it up. My thing you throw this, yes, and as soon as you throw the gun into the
hypocrite.
As soon as you throw the gun into the mix, that changes the whole scenario.
What?
A kid
well said,
because
Shana.
it's something that is deadly. right? A kid running through the neighborhood from doing something wrong. Yes, it sucks. It happens. But to be running with a gun, there's a different intent in my mind. I feel there's a different intent. For
Driving
this kid.
drunk, driving
All right,
stoned.
so let's talk about the guy. This was like a year or two ago that was walking through a bike trail with his Michigan hat on and a hammer.
Yeah.
And a woman riding her bicycle past him, he opened up that hammer right on her face and wouldn't stop.
Right.
Until another woman came and she tried to help, and then she got the hammer.
Literally.
They ended up catching the guy, right? Through like a camera from ATM or something. I don't know. Right. But I mean, that's when you should be like, holy shit, there's a guy running around smashing women in the face with a hammer.
Well, right, but
you know what I mean? I mean, why isn't it
just the way you're telling it right now? You're like, holy shit, guy running around with a hammer,
well,
smashing
right.
people. It's intense.
Because
It's
you don't,
like, holy cow,
like,
you don't
listen,
expect
all
it.
right,
you hear
so-
people running around.
so-
you hear people
so-
running around with a gun. That's a little more like turn
But you
on the
don't
news.
Right.
That's every 5
So,
seconds.
so,
Yeah.
Right.
so here's the deal. Had I said, yeah, I don't know, some dude running around that we were shelter in state because some guy was running through the yards with a hammer. You'd be like, oh, that's weird.
Right.
When you're like, holy shit, you're desensitized.
Right.
Good Lord.
Everybody needs to be
a
on
hammer.
meds. Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
But now he's like, guy ran through my yard yesterday naked with clown shoes on. I would, what the
I
hell?
feel like, what was
That's
he
a
on? I
little
want
more-
some.
a little more exciting, right? I mean,
I thought it was weird until I saw my wife running after him with a red nose on.
with a can of whipped cream and a bullwhip.
Yeah. But there's no danger, at least no specific right there in front of
is
you.
it
danger
Friday?
was. Yeah.
So this is what I'm talking about. And isn't that a great one? I know that is a good look at it.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. And here's what I love about all the pro gunners. And please go ahead and feel free to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, everybody. We are saying the G word. We understand. We are not talking. These are three guys and just an opinion. We have we love people. We are not promoting violence. We are not promoting anything. We are just talking about a guy running through a backyard at this point, right?
Do you know what the guy did? Does anybody? I mean, did the app tell
No.
you what happened? What the problem was? That's not the problem. The guy getting chased by cops, but he had a gun on him, isn't the problem. What was the problem?
I don't know what the problem was.
I don't know.
There wasn't a problem.
I don't know what the
So why are
problem
you
was.
so blown out? Why are you
I'm
blown
not
out?
blown out.
Desensitized. Why am I
blown out.
desensitized?
I was really just kind of blown away, or it was just doesn't sit right with me that he was just like, we have a shelter in place because there's a guy running around with a gun. Just kind of like, that happens every day. It's not a big deal.
I pay taxes.
That's not what it's like. When I grew up when I was growing up, or even just
He
around
pays taxes for that
I
entertainment.
pay taxes for that entertainment, right?
Right. The
But it
police
wasn't
the police
something-
did their job.
If that happened when I
Back
was a
the
kid
blue,
growing
baby.
up where I was growing, where I grew up, people would be losing their freaking minds.
Oh,
Right. So I'm just looking at how the difference is now from what I grew up and when he grew up. Right. Oh, he had a
was
gun
that
running through town.
population like 200?
No,
where
I
you
grew up in a
I mean,
nice, decent sized town in Mundelein, not too far from here.
Wonderland.
Yeah.
I mean, good,
But things were
good
different.
suburban
Things
home.
were
It was
different in the 30s.
But
I
if
mean,
you, yeah, I'm not that old, you fucker.
Right.
why?
So listen, I love what Shannon's saying. Pretending is more dangerous. So true. I've never heard it that way. What I know of gang culture, a structure is in place to keep the chaos directed to profit.
Mhm.
So again, here you are going, hey man, you're on the south side of Chicago? Totally. Get it. It's cool. Guns all the time. My backyard? McHenry? Whiteville? No. Right? So you have bought in.
You just say Whiteville?
Yeah, I did.
Whiteville. Wow.
You have bought in to exactly the narrative that they want you to.
Follow
They
the light.
want
No,
you
no,
to.
I'm not buying into their narrative, dude.
No,
I'm
no,
just the same as
you don't
I-
have to no more. You're
I'm there.
you're
I'm
in.
sold, I'm bought in, vested,
You're in.
done. No. I can't believe you don't see the reason that it just kind of miffed me.
I hear that word
Because of the
desensitized
security. Right. Well, it's just
way too many
Right.
times for the wrong reasons.
Right.
You know what I mean?
so
And
what would be a better adjective to describe?
well, it's,
then-
number one,
It was just like no big deal. Whatever. He had
It's not
gun.
a big deal to me.
back in the day, the T-Rex tore that guy's head off. No big deal, man. That happens every day.
So
Is he desensitized from
so when
caveman
you all right,
days?
so when it comes time for you to look for a house to buy for your family, the one that you guys got people running around with guns, right?
How about this?
And it's not a big deal versus the one that's never had that issue. Are you going to choose? Which one are you going to choose?
Because you're following the structure to where you're sensitive. It's not about how everybody's desensitive.
That's correct.
You're sensitive.
Why am I sensitive? I'm pro-gun. I'm a gun carrier.
I get it. It's not you. It's everybody else. I get it.
Listen,
I get it. It's okay.
Listen, I can obviously say from this conversation, no, you're not, because you would have been fine until the word gun came up. And so when gun came up, now it's an issue. If I said, hey, the cops told us to stay in the house because a guy was running through the neighborhood, you'd have been like, well, that's weird. Oh,
right. Running through the neighborhood. He doesn't pose as big a threat running through the
neighborhood. How do you know? He could have piano wire. He could strangle people. Yeah, but he might be laced up with bombs.
But if the guy's running through, okay, But the initial
we're swimming in this pool, people.
The initial perception. Oh, Deidre's got it on scare. But the initial perception of a guy running through is something's not right. Right, for you to be running through and you're getting chased. For you to be running through a neighborhood naked, in clown shoes, with piano wire, whatever, it does not pose as great a threat to somebody initially. The word gun changes it.
But to some people, that would be.
Yeah. Some people it could. But to me, but I'm talking about me and how I took it.
I know, because you're sensitive.
So you're playing.
Because you're sensitive to it.
Oh, I'm very sensitive. Thank you.
I know you are. It's true.
Well, why do you got to go there with it? That's kind of biased. But listen, because the structure of America, the way you want it to be, the way it should be in your mind, if it changes off a little bit from that, you're gonna be like everybody else is saying, well, man, we're so desensitized. Oh, the kids are desensitized. They're playing all these video games, killing people on video games and everything. So they're very desensitized. But it's just about, no, you're just sensitive to it. Because the world has been this way since man's been here. Man is the problem. Right.
Well, that's a given. I mean, that is the problem, but it just something like
listen,
that.
My reaction to Kent, I'd be like, cool, did you get it on camera? Just because I want to watch it.
Right.
I wouldn't have been, I wouldn't be
put it on TikTok.
And it has nothing to do with where I come from or the people.
But it's something that you're used to that. That's something being out in the suburbs is not
That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true.
So
just because on the news I
didn't say you accepted it, but it's something that you were used to hearing, and it's not an uncommon situation to happen in Chicago.
Well,
it's a very uncommon situation to happen out
right? It's close to home.
Well, it's very close to home where I raise my kids, where I'm raising my grandkids, where you guys live. I mean, that brings
you're raising your grandkids.
I'm helping, sure, absolutely. That's what family does. You know.
I don't know.
Why is that not what you do either?
I didn't say anything. I just said you're raising your grandkids.
Yeah,
that's all.
Some days.
Deidre says McHenry Scanner stated he was shooting at the police and was caught around 4 a.m. this morning. Others are stating he was breaking into homes. I don't know who the others are, but
that means people.
Yeah,
I think that just means people.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay, that happens. It happens everywhere.
But it's okay. He was shooting at the cops.
Okay.
I still got away.
So
again, still here this morning.
So again, what does building my anxiety do at that point? That's what you wanted me to do, is be anxious about, oh my God, a gun shooting at the police.
Not building your anxiety. Right. You get more worked up and more fired up about trying to razz me than you do about something that potentially kill you or your neighbors.
I love how over the top you are.
It's
every car on a Friday.
He's over the top for that and giving me shit. But when it comes to some guy running through his neighborhood, you're just like, whatever.
Every car that drives down my street could run in through my house and kill my family. I don't get worked up about that.
It could, but
what?
If you knew that was happening, you knew this happened. That's all I'm saying is you had the information. It was just very nonchalant. Yeah, a guy running through my neighborhood with a gun.
Who cares?
It's like saying your wife
made the theme for the day?
Pancakes this morning. I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually
no. That's not where I was going this morning. But when he said that, I was
actually entitled "The World We Live In."
Right. Well, no, we were sitting there talking this morning, and I had a couple other things. I mean, working in my head with the way things,
Sure.
And he mentioned that, and I'm like, wow, that just. I expected a little more emphasis or a little bit more passion on something like that happening, because we do live in a great town here. I mean, we have a good, safe town. I mean, if you talk to the cops, and there's a lot of weird shit that's going on behind that we don't even know about, right? But when it's brought up to that, and it was just, it is what it is. It's like I cut the grass yesterday. Okay, great. Yeah, this isn't Barney Fife.
That's what you're building.
This is what happens when he gets up at 5 a.m.
Get riled up. Get the truck. Get the boys.
Get
We're
the
going down to
boys.
Ken's hood.
I
We're gonna
mean,
protect the land.
I mean, I'm not guy running through the neighborhood with a gun. I'm not running out there in my pajamas. Where's he at?
Look at Don.
I guess,
Don
you
says,
know, I guess
remember, Scott, last week he was saying being on time did not matter to him. Kent, where'd it go? Kent would have had more excitement in his voice if he saw a celebrity running through his yard.
It's true.
Yeah, I would have been like, holy shit, cool.
You know, he's naked.
Hey,
So
Is that Conan O'Brien?
yeah, right.
What is my yard?
Shayna says, Scott, I think most people are trying to be tolerant of crazy until it is our proximity. We choose a lifestyle just like the music genre.
100%.
It's what we want. It's not about guns. It's about people making you part of their chaos.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to be both diligent and, I'm guessing,
Fucking tired
of dealing with unhinged idiots? But that would be rude.
Don laughing.
Yeah. So we do choose a lifestyle we like to hear and do it. But this doesn't fit into the lifestyle that I view as McHenry.
So let me ask you a question.
What is the lifestyle?
Let me ask you a
family
question.
oriented. Yeah, I know we've got a lot of crazies here, but when that happened through, like I said, it just kind of threw me for a loop because for me, I'd be like, holy shit, there was a guy running through we had to shelter in place, right? Just a little bit more passion in my voice. Holy cow, there was a kid running through my neighborhood with a gun. You know, I can't change it, but whoa, that's something that doesn't happen every day. So it's more of exciting for me than a guy ran through my neighborhood with a gun. So I had to sit inside. I couldn't do anything. So, but it's okay. You want to go outside and have some coffee?
Yeah.
Hey,
you know, I mean, there was no sense of urgency or sense of concern.
Hey, Alice, Scott Deidre invited us over to the house for dinner.
You can't come over now. There's a guy running around.
Right. And then all of a sudden we get there and I'm like, holy shit, everybody be on guard. He's got guns here.
I tell you,
listen, he's got guns, and that's a danger to us. Because he's got guns.
I love him.
Right?
So over the top.
You guys know after the show he comes up and hugs me and says sorry.
Listen,
every
the
time,
reason that I'm over the top is because that's the way America is.
Right, but
just
you're over the top. You're over the top giving me shit for saying you didn't.
Because I
passion
love
about
you,
it.
and I'm telling you,
there is an over exaggeration to certain things, man. I mean, that's just how it works.
Listen,
right, but I would have
Listen,
expected more. I would have expected more passion out of you.
And here's what I want the listeners to understand: these two gentlemen here are like brothers to me. I mean, we're not even close friends; it's like brothers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Amen.
We're close.
So the other guy who's like that in my life is Krejci. He's not here right now. So if he was sitting right there, it would literally be like my family, right? So, and y'all think I'm crazy, but that's the love I have for these guys, right?
No, I don't think you're crazy.
But
I think you're
but what I'm saying is, if the media and everything wouldn't be blowing up gun laws and gun control and blah 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 blah, what could I do? It was at 4 a.m.
No, there's nothing.
I was drooling.
Right. That's what
at
I'm getting
4 a.m.
Right, but I'm not saying there's. I'm not saying. Right, you're safe, but I'm not saying there's anything you could do.
And so why get excited about? To me, it's not exciting.
So Scott, let me throw this at you. When you get angry about something or over passionate about something because something happened and it just crams you, right? It just gets you. But the reaction that you have to it and the anger or the excitement that you might have to it doesn't change it. So I think, I'm going to go back to everybody works in a different platform, man. Everybody's got their own little circle around them and on their emotions and how they feel and what happens. So, and then I'm going to go back to being desensitized or just being sensitive. So some people, certain things bother them or they get excited about certain things where you might be like, why do you get so excited about that? It's based on the individual. He's sleeping. He finds out there's like this little lockdown happening in his hood, right? The guy running around with a gun and the gun's highlighted. And, we all know that, there's a division in the world about, guns kill people.
Oh, always has been.
Or is it the dumb motherfuckers who guns kill people, right? But if you're shooting at the cops in your neighborhood, The only part of the excitement about that to me, hold on now, wait your turn, son.
Hold on, I'm trying to grasp his comments here.
What would be, well, that because that's close to home, or well, that was close to my buddy's house. Hope they're okay, or something in that fashion. But I love his over dramatic reinterpretation of the way America is, because that's exactly right. Which they should be doing more about that, about our kids and what's happening in their schools, than it would be about what's happening.
We could maybe stick around for bridging civil tension.
People in this world get way more fucking excited and crazy about the neighbor that said something or that they did than a guy running around your town with a gun. You know, the rebel rousers, the keyboard warriors.
Again, just take the word gun out of it and just running around. Does it have the same meaning?
Yeah, I mean,
and the answer is
no. It does not.
If he had a pipe, would you say he was running around with a pipe?
That would actually escalate it a little bit for me. No, if you've got a guy running around with a pipe or a big wrench or hammer through the neighborhood, that's definitely
a monkey wrench.
Right. The guy's definitely not right. Yeah, that would bother me. It's not going to bother me. It's not going to bother me as much because they are both very deadly items. But unfortunately, the stigma that's been put on the guns, right, running around with somebody like that, and all the gun I mean, what does the news push so much, right? Is that all these shooting? There was
Shana. Since I've been in the picture, he starts raising his hands. I don't know why.
It's unsettling to know that that's happening.
So listen. You are back in the 1960s, America. You are the guy who dug a hole in the backyard for a bomb shelter because of the bomb that could possibly be dropped. You're that guy. Hey, you never know. Look, I got a generator and some canned food. We're gonna get through the year 2000.
Those damn roosters.
I thought you were my brother and you loved me because that was not me.
No, listen, this is what I'm saying. This is exactly the American media, everything made it, hey, the bomb, go buy a bomb shelter. I mean, they had it on Happy Days, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You're right. Howard had a bomb shelter. They were so scared. So it doesn't matter until you heard the word gun. You actually own guns. Guns should not scare. Guns don't scare me.
No, guns don't scare me either. It's the people that own the guns.
So then you should be more hyper or you should be more chalant instead of nonchalant about somebody running through my neighborhood at 4. But you didn't until you heard the word gun.
That doesn't intensify the whole situation for you?
Because guns don't scare me.
No, but the idiot running through the neighborhood at 4 a.m. shooting at cops is the guy that scares me.
Right, so that should scare you, not the word gun. You were fine until you heard the word gun.
The guy's just using the tool to shoot at the cops.
Right, it changed the whole scenario.
No, it doesn't, because if it's the man that should scare you, very sensitive. It's just,
you guys lovers.
Right?
No, we're brothers.
So context and intent determine most things.
Come on, Nancy.
Okay, right. So
it's interesting. You guys might be the problem.
Listen, I will sit here.
We're the problem. Once again, it's everybody else got.
No,
it's all right.
I will sit here. What I am and all my problems.
And I'll talk about this on Bridging Civil Tension too. But I will sit here and I get frustrated with pro-gun people going, well, a rock in Abel's hand was different than a rock in David's hand. It's not the rock. Listen, first of all, you don't even know who Jesus is, so stop trying to quote the Bible for trying to support the right to bear arms. Read the Constitution, live the Constitution, understand the Constitution, right? That's all I'm saying. And we get stupid. And then, well, cars kill more people than shut up. A car was not built as a weapon.
It's the person behind it that's driving it. Person is driving.
So
what would JC do in this situation? What would JC do? Would he go ham? Hard as a motherfucker? I mean, what would JC do? Would JC get upset about that?
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Right.
So Shana just says context and intent determine most things, and that's
exactly
where it's at.
Listen, people look at me, and I don't get too riled up. It's out of my. If something's out of my control, why get riled up?
What riles me
there
up?
Are people.
Everything riles me up.
There are people who, oh man, big old thunderstorm's coming. Everybody sleep in the basement tonight. No, I'm like, whatever.
You know that's coming, and it's
predictable,
a thunderstorm.
Well, I mean, know that's coming. You can prep for it. You can't prep for
A man
Some
running
idiot.
around?
So
Just
here
some-
are
just
the
somebody
things
that
that
you're
I'm
unsure of what's
listen,
going on.
Here are the things that I'm sensitive about.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sensitive about the guy that shoulders you as he walks by you, and there's no like apology, no.
Yeah.
Or the guy that parks on the line where you can't get in. I'm sensitive about bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? You know?
But the guy running,
I get
the
all
guy
bent
running
up-
through your
taking up
neighborhood
two
with
spots.
the
Right,
guy
taking-
running through a neighborhood with the pipe
Right.
wrench or thing doesn't. You don't even give a shit. Guy running through with a
We already
gun.
know
That's his
he might be a
God-given right.
lunatic and a criminal. We already know that, but it's the assholes that you deal with on a daily basis that fire me up. That should
That's
have
what
more,
he's sensitive
that. I'm very sensitive about that. They should have more respect with each other because the
Wait,
world would be a little bit
what
better.
word
Especially
did-
for
wait,
your
what word-
time.
Hold on. What
Right,
word
Don?
did you just use? You said should. Why would
Should
you
be.
want to should on them? They're who they are. You have to.
Well, sure,
You have to
sure.
accept them and move forward. It's none of your.
Well,
But-
okay.
But a guy parking too close on a line doesn't potentially affect your life, your
Sure.
neighborhood,
It sure
your
does.
family.
A fat
your
guy
family,
trying
or-
to squeeze between two
or-
cars? Come
or
on.
or potentially your value of your home. Oh, Kent, I live in a neighborhood that the guy's running around with guns.
Well, we'll just give the example. If
Well, I
you
don't
park
want to
on
live
the
in
line-
that neighborhood.
We're
I'm
gonna
going
go
to
to
live
the
in
park
his
on the line.
neighborhood.
Then
We're gonna go
move.
park on the line. When I had Betsy, right?
Yeah.
My old Jeep. You park on the line. I'm still fitting.
Yeah.
Okay. And when they get out, they'll be like, "Well, you shouldn't have parked there." Oh, now we're back to the word "should," but now it's on me. Fuck you.
Right.
That's not how it works. It should be a mutual, right?
Depends
that's
on,
a
it
respect.
depends on what
That's
you're
respect.
describing.
Yeah.
Depends
That's
on what you're
respect.
describing.
It's just based on respect.
Right.
Some kid was scolding my wife at the bowling alley the other day over the toy. He worked in the toy department, right? Where my kids are gonna go and trade in the tickets. Right? And she was like, "Well, do you have any more of this stuff?" He's like, "I could check if I wasn't too busy." She was like, "Oh, are you gonna check?" He's like, "No." That pisses me off. It's like, "Oh, okay," because I'm the guy that's like, "Oh, now you
Well, that pisses
crossed
you off.
my
'Cause that's kind
sensitive
of
line."
it's crossed your
Now-
sensitive lines, but it's also
now
it's because
you're
it's
gonna
towards
go
your wife,
look-
someone you love.
Because if you don't, I'm gonna push your head through the counter, right? I'm that guy.
See, to get that riled up over something so stupid
right,
to me
right.
is
But see,
Right,
I'm
but
telling no.
I-
Listen, this is in your defense. Don't
No.
misconstrue, because I'm sensitive too. But I'm
Right.
sensitive on different things. He's sensitive on different things. So him getting riled up about what you get riled up on, you can't expect everybody to do the same, right? That's where I'm going.
Right,
with this.
right.
So you just said no. And that's what I'm saying. That doesn't bother me. You run around in my neighborhood with a gun
Right.
all day long. That doesn't bother me. You start shooting babies? No, I'm a little bit bothered.
I'll tell you what she's sensitive about. You start fucking with the wires on that goddamn gizmo over
Let me
there.
tell you what.
Yeah, there you go. You play, right.
let's
He was
be
more,
honest.
He was more concerned
Right.
about the wires on
I
the control
I
panel
screwed
than
up
the guy
the,
running through the.
Let's be honest.
I screwed
Right.
up the gizmo box.
So what is
yesterday.
that? So that's a perfect example. To me, he was way more fired up that
Yeah.
we were going to be behind on the podcast because the wires
Yeah.
had been switched
And
around.
it was my fault.
than a guy running through his
Yeah.
neighborhood. No gun involved, just a guy running through his neighborhood
you
that
know
cops were chasing.
You know why? Do you know why? Because that's under my control. The guy running through
Right.
the neighborhood is not under my
It's
control.
not. It's not under your control. But how you react to something like that is in your control, right? Where you not? Does that not?
Okay,
Does
so
it not
keep-
all
keep
make
going.
you be a little bit more? I don't want to say scared, but sensitive in your name. You know, as far as could this affect my family?
If this
know, this
guy
guy's
ran
running
through
Okay,
through
your yard,
but wait.
wait
See,
a minute. If this guy ran through your yard, right,
With the gun?
and you were in your back porch drinking your coffee,
Yeah.
and he ran through, and the cops were chasing him, and he looked over at you and was like, "What's up, man? Sorry, dude, don't mean to cut through your yard." Would that have changed your demeanor to the situation?
I probably, you know what? If somebody did that, honestly, I mean, I'd have to be in that situation. But the way you say it, that made me giggle because, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Kind of like whatever.
Sorry.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's running
So-
through the neighborhood, right? I don't know. I haven't been there. I haven't been in that situation. Until I've been in that situation, I don't know how I'm going to react.
No, because the story would have been like, the guy was running through my yard with a gun, or, dude, this guy ran through my yard with a gun, being chased by cops, and was like, "Sorry, dude."
That's
Different
that's
mentality.
a totally
right?
different mentality. It's
Right.
a totally different perspective
right.
too, right?
why?
Came in. Kent was upset about the wires, bro. My bad. So sorry. Instantly dropped it.
Right.
Well, because it's
Right.
fixable. He controlled it. He fixed it. That has nothing to do with the
No,
situation.
he was
this-
upset.
with
Okay,
the-
wait,
Why?
wait, keep
No,
going,
He was
keep
upset.
going.
Why was that?
Keep
that
going.
fault, right? But that situation, right, has not could not potentially damage the show or the station.
Absolutely.
Oh, sure.
If we don't have
But-
the
right.
mics, they can't
Right.
hear us.
But
Right.
you can,
We've been doing a
that's
lot of
something
this.
you have control of that you can fix. You have no control over how everyone's going to perceive
Keep
this guy
going.
running through your neighborhood with
Keep
a
going.
gun, right?
There's not enough
And
coffee
how
in the
people,
world.
and how people are going to perceive it and
Keep going.
read into it, right? So it could adversely affect your neighborhood, where you live, this town, the perception of this town. That's all I'm getting at. Instead of just being,
All right.
the guy ran through my yard, no big deal.
So
oh my
this
God,
is-
this dude ran through our neighborhood with a gun. Holy fuck, is that crazy?
So this
I
is
expected a little more passion with that. That's all I'm really getting at. So I like this conversation.
so this
because
is
it's just kind of like whatever. What people
You would
today
just
So
are
listen.
sensitive to and what are not
to the
sensitive
same
to
situation.
today.
That's all. We get it.
Right.
okay. So first of all, practice number 7, and that's
Mindful.
practice mindfulness. You get riled up because of all the ifs, ands, or whats that could have
Mhm.
happened.
Mhm.
I am right here in this second. The guy's done. It's over with.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I'm not
Let-
riled up what
No,
could,
no, no,
what
no, no,
could
no,
have
no.
happened.
No, you are. That's
No,
what you're
I'm
saying.
I'm riled up with how you responded.
No, listen, that's because you just said with what could happen in your neighborhood in this town because a guy was running with a gun. You just spelled that out on the
I did
microphone.
spell that out. Yeah, I spelled that out.
And that is not being mindfulness. That is not being present in the moment.
Mm.
I'm here now in the moment. 4 a.m.'s gone. Why should I be
yeah, there's
right?
nothing you can do about what happened, just on how it
You-
happened, and just the
Again,
description.
again, 4 a.m.
This
is gone. Why
same-
should
sure
I
it
be
is. The
riled
The
up
same
about
problem that the news has effect on people.
Right.
They want you. How come you're not feeling the same way I'm feeling? About
that?
it?
Guess what? I got here.
That riles everybody up, right?
I got here, and in the moment, the wires were different.
Yep.
And guess what I did in the moment? I fixed it. Now I don't worry, but it's done.
after you
over.
got irritated.
No, I'm
you
like,
fixed
what
it.
the hell
Yeah,
happened?
you got irritated and you fixed it. You didn't get irritated about a guy running through your neighborhood with a gun. You can't fix it, but you got irritated and be like, all right, well, there's nothing I
Scott, again, I want you to hear what I'm saying, not listen. I want you to hear what I'm saying. 4 a.m. is in the past.
can do. Yep,
There's no reason to get upset because I can't do anything about the past.
correct.
The wires at the moment, yes.
Right.
Now it's done. I'm not irritated with it at all because it's in the
Yeah,
past.
it's already taken care of. It's fixed.
Right. You were
controlled it.
in the moment with me when the wires were here and we got it fixed. Right. Now it's in the past. It's done. It's gone. There's no reason. I'll tell this story. Be like, I got in, Drew got up all the wires the day before. We were running close, had to figure it out. Scott and I got it done. Boom.
Yep.
Drew's over here going, hey, man, sorry, dude. My bad. I did it. Something was wrong. Well, yeah, you fucked up the wires. That's what was wrong, right?
Yeah, we could get the mics working, and for some reason there was one
Right.
mic that wasn't working,
So-
so we messed up all the
so
wires.
for me-
we got it working, and
so
then
for me-
got to put it back.
So for me, it's in the past.
Yep.
I can't let my emotions get risen because it's in the past. I have to be present. I have this right now, today, in this moment. Somebody runs through this studio with a gun. Now I might get worried and be like, holy shit, he's got a gun. Right. But until then, there's nothing. I can't. So let me help. So down in Texas, right? The police officers at that school shooting said, wait outside. They got scared in the moment or whatever. They didn't rely on their training. In Tennessee, old boy rolled in and was like Tackleberry. Boom, 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 done. Did his job without thinking. He was in the moment, right? And he's a hero now, right? So that's what I'm saying. I can't get lit up. I can't get excited. I can't do anything because it's in the past. There's no reason. Hey, some dude ran. Listen, you will talk to me about being in an armed robbery with a gun point blank in my face, and I don't get anxiety from it because that happened in 2006. Do I have PTSD with it? Absolutely do. Right? If I'm in a bank and I hear a loud noise, guess what? I clench. All right, then I got to say that was what's going on. I got to come back to the moment.
There's an emotional involvement
Right.
to that, right? It makes you emotional. There is an emotion that runs through that.
Yes,
when
that's
that
called
happens,
PTSD.
Right.
Right. So, and then I have to come back to the moment and go, okay, it's not 2006 and there's not a gun pointed at my face. What's happening? Okay. Get rid of the bad feeling from 2006, being scared with a gun in my face, to going, oh, it's just somebody laughing down in the lobby or whatever the case may be.
You're been sensitized to something like that happening in your bank, isn't it? Right? I mean, you heard that loud noise, so it's like, oh my God, is this happening again?
So now I'm sensitive.
Well, I think you would be sensitive to that situation,
and that's
right?
what we're saying.
Are you not?
That's what we're saying. You're sensitive to the situation. I'm not. It's not desensitizing me.
Okay.
You're sensitive.
I'm sensitive because I felt like you have more emotion and more passion of things that you've done in the past than this. This was just, to me, it was just, I'm going to use the word, it was just kind of nonchalant. Yeah, a guy ran through my neighborhood with a gun. Oh, by the way, did you see my mom made meatloaf? You want to come over and have some?
Yeah.
It's like, it's no big deal.
It is no big deal. Nothing
so I'll disagree with you all day long.
I'm going to say to Don. I'm going to say to Don. Yes, all of our wires are still a little crossed.
Yeah,
no
always.
And Shayna, yeah.
Have you watched The Dimming? It's free on YouTube. I haven't. I'd love to hear your take. It's an ego engineering, and it might geoengineering. Yeah. All right, sorry.
It's far.
Geoengineering, and it might rule you. Would you rather not have knowledge if nothing can be done? I will watch that.
Depends on the situation.
Ignorance is bliss sometimes, right?
So you're right. Depends on the situation. I mean, could my life continue to go on and have no problems if I didn't hear about this guy running through your neighborhood? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, things that I used to,
I can't change it.
Things that I was never sensitive about earlier in my life, I am sensitive about now. Like,
right, because you've gone through situations that.
No. Let me finish the sentence before you keep talking. But really, it's more or less like, hey, listen, before I had kids, I can watch any movie. I had dealt with kids or not. Now I'm like, oh, that's where that kid gets kidnapped and tortured. I can't watch it. I got kids now. It made me sensitive.
Yeah.
Right? So your sensitivity channel changes as you go through different things in life too. So once again, for what had happened and how you were passionate with the guy running around with the gun, right? Because you put those two words together, it rolls your voice a little bit, right? And you got a little sensitive to that, right?
Changes it for you.
Not so much. But to him, what he might be sensitive about, you might be like, so what? You know? I mean,
right.
It's just,
I don't like heights. You're like, listen, bro. Right. So we're gonna go out and I'm gonna hike the angel's hairpin, whatever, pubic hair, whatever out there. Right. I don't know, whatever it is, right?
So like 20,000 feet in the air.
When you talk about that, and from the pictures you sent me, my anxiety level goes. Yeah. I can't watch spelunkers on TV.
Oh, no,
I look at that and I go, I start holding my breath. I'm like, oh, why? And I'm like, why would you? Hey, I'm squeezing through, and
I'm stuck. Yeah, right. I can't get through. I can't watch that.
So I can't do that. So I go, I can't believe you're so nonchalant about walking on a 6-inch path, 6,000 feet in the air. Right. And you're like, I'm gonna make it. Listen, Deke,
that's a situation I choose to put myself in.
Listen, Deke, I couldn't make it last year because I just got off. I made it 3/4 of the way, but I just got off a knee surgery. I'm excited, and I'm like, you're fucking nuts. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
right?
that's a perfect example. That's a choice that I make to do. That's my life. I'm not putting anyone else's life in danger.
You're not sensitive to that.
Correct.
I am.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. So I can't see. My anxiety level goes like this because of you going there going, why would you put your life in danger?
But me doing that doesn't threaten your way in any way, shape, or form.
Sure. You can't have the grounds without Giles. Giles falls off cliff. Wow.
Oh, okay, there you go. You can't have the grounds without Giles.
We just put the word new in front of it. Right. New grounds. What Drew and Ken.
I was going to say, it looks like it's going to be Cappuccino and Jones here, guys. So if I'm missing in the next few weeks,
you understand what I'm saying?
I totally follow.
So I'm very sensitive to that.
Doing what I do as far as climbing mountains or jumping out of airplanes and stuff like that doesn't affect your life. A guy running through but it doesn't.
Sure, it does.
Sensitive. It doesn't matter.
Let's rewind. You are like my brother, bro. That affects my life.
Yeah,
in that respect, yes, it does affect your life. You're correct.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying in that respect.
So my sensitivity goes up. Like,
if bad things happen to you, we're going to be concerned. It's going to affect us.
But I'm taking it more on a basic basic level,
a generalized
level, right? I'm not taking it into the deep end where if I do die, like
That's
your life
because,
changes.
and the reason you would say I'm desensitized, and I'm telling you this, is because a man with a gun doesn't scare me at all.
No, a man with a gun doesn't scare me either. But a man running through my neighborhood with a gun that was supposedly shooting me. Now, I didn't know this before we started talking that he was shooting a cop. That just that ups the game. That ups the ante for me.
For
guy
you.
running through my neighborhood. Yeah, for me. That's why I said
not for me.
This is about me. That's why I said I can't believe there wasn't more emotion in your voice when you told me about it.
Yeah, there's no need.
Well, that's
I hear more. I hear
the reason is he's not as sensitive.
Right. Well, There was not as much emotion, and for me, it just kind of like. Is that really kind of where the world's going? Is just it's not as big a deal anymore. It's just acceptable.
Well,
back in the 50s,
what caught me was the word desensitized.
Right, but
okay, now you're talking about how everybody's being desensitized. That's not the case. Everybody has their own sensitivity level.
Well, no, people these days. I mean,
here we go.
People are becoming more and more sensitive, or at least. Right on a lot of different issues, but your sensitivity changes.
Sure.
What bothers you changes.
So what
with your
manipulates
life
that, Scott? What manipulates
your
that?
life experience?
The news you watch.
I don't watch
the stories that you hear. No, I'm not saying you personally. But we're generalizing, right?
Okay. Well, I'm always talking. I try to talk about how I think it.
Isn't that great? 29 Creator Studios.
Pretty good.
Look at that thing.
I'm talking about, but in this, I'm talking about literally how I responded.
I love this subliminal message that's in there.
That we got it in gray too.
Yeah.
Gray background.
Yeah, it's nice.
That was pretty cool.
I like the subliminal message that's in it. When people get it, they'll get it.
Whole hand up there, Doc.
That's right. I'm just saying that to me, I sit here and I go, I can't wrap my head around why.
Let me ask you this: Do you think as a younger kid growing up, where you're growing up, if this situation happened back then, you would have responded differently?
No.
It would have caused you a little bit more concern or a little bit more emotion to be involved. Oh my God, Dad! There's a guy running through town with a gun.
When I was a kid, I reacted how my parents reacted because you mimic your parents and they're your everything. Like they're like invincible in your eyes, right? My father was stone cold about everything.
Right. But I'm asking Kent and the way he was brought up, because the way we grew up, even though I was not in Iowa, I was in Illinois, is very similar. I mean, it's really scary just how close our upbringings were.
Cue banjos.
And I know, cue banjos. But I mean, I know back in the day, all the crazy shit that happened in our neighborhood, I think I would have definitely felt a lot different then than I do today, as far as somebody running through my neighborhood, even being just chased by cops. You throw the gun into the mix, that does change. Because like I said, I am not afraid of guns. I love guns. I enjoy shooting.
Well, I reckon where you come from, everybody knows everybody. You be like, why is Tom running through the field from the cops?
But I fear I fear the person that actually has any weapon, right? I fear the person because it's not, I've never seen a gun kill somebody. I have a gun sitting on my front porch and it hasn't killed anybody yet.
Fear doesn't dictate logic.
I'll kick your ass with this thumb.
Right.
You're gonna stick that thumb where, Doc?
No, didn't you ever watch Presidio or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know.
Presidio, that was a movie. I'll kick your ass with this thumb. So when I was younger, I probably would have got to school and been like, some dude was cruising through the yard with a gun, man, right through the yard. It would have been cool to me.
We're going to be hanging out tonight to see if he runs back through.
But it's a situation.
The only time I've ever been scared of a firearm is when it was pointed at me point blank, and it did take me several months I would yell at my kids if they pointed a squirt gun at me, right? And that was just I
couldn't even imagine.
That was even just that's the PTSD, right?
Not my first rodeo.
So the word gun, firearm. I want everybody to know, I don't own. I have a BB gun, so I could shoot squirrels and woodpeckers, right?
What would you do?
But I don't.
What did
for
they
fun.
do to you?
Well, squirrels are good to eat, actually. But anyway,
come to my house.
Grab it.
But what I'm saying, I'm not really a good shot. What I'm saying is,
that's what I've heard.
what I'm saying is, the word gun.
He does have 4 girls though, or 4 kids.
The word gun doesn't scare me. A man running through my yard doesn't scare me unless he tries to get in my house. Now I would be a little more elevated, right? I don't know if he was 2 blocks away. I don't know if he ran through my backyard. I don't know. I'm going to say, dude running around my neighborhood with a gun, obviously shooting at police. Okay, guess what? I pay money. Police did their job, right? And I have faith in the police. So I can't get riled up and run out there with my broom.
Right. Right.
You got a gun, right? So to me, the word gun and the word gun is what elevates everybody today. It
Well,
does
It,
you're right.
it changes the
You're right.
situation. I don't know
It
if it
shouldn't.
elevates, just
Well, that's because there's a lot of ignorance based on
Well-
people seeing it as the
right, but
problem.
Don't you think most people, the whole scenario changes when a guy running through my neighborhood, cops chasing him. I bet you if you took a survey of people, how does this make you feel? What is your reaction to a guy running through my neighborhood, cops chasing him? Holy shit. Yeah, not a good thing. I wonder what he did. Guy running through my neighborhood with a gun that was shooting at the cops. That totally changes your perception and even your curiosity. What's going on with that?
It changes yours.
Okay, yeah, I'm talking about me. Like I said at the beginning, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about
Right.
anyone
Don't
else.
say
in the
it
world, 'cause I
changes
don't know.
my.
But the reason I started this whole thing was just because I know you, I think pretty well, right? And we
Yeah.
are pretty tight.
Yeah.
The way that it was just the lack of emotion into it was
There's
just kind
no
of like,
need-
wow, okay, what is more important to get your blood pressure
So let
boiling?
me ask you this. Let's say I didn't know about it today and I read about it in the news tomorrow in the newspaper. Should I get elevated?
Well,
Because
I don't
it
know about
happened?
you, but for me, I would be like, holy crap, like I can't believe that happened. I didn't know anything about it. It would definitely make me think about things a little bit differently. No, I can't change it. It's already happened, but it would definitely be like, oh wow, all right. That's interesting.
Don says, I can't even speak. I'm memorized by the new 216 logo that Ken created.
No, I didn't. Actually, it was Jake
Yeah.
from Wizard.
It was
Market.
our it
Gun
was our
control
marketing
is not
guy.
a good idea, Shayna. Absolutely.
But it is
not.
I
mesmerizing.
It's our
think
right
we're
to
being
bear arms.
desensitized, and it's going to cost us. Screaming nonstop about anything kind of loses its effect. Breaking news. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Does gun
100%.
control sound like a good idea? So here's what I would say. Possibly.
No.
Define gun control
People
for
You
me.
ever seen what happened to places when people are disarmed?
Okay, so disarming is different than gun control. Again, words have meanings.
Well, okay,
Define.
So what is gun control to you?
Define. That's what I'm asking. Define gun control. I can't say it sounds like a good idea or a bad idea because gun control, I go into the Wild West and the guy's like and puts it back into his holster. That's gun control.
That's awesome sound effects, by the
Right?
way.
That is
Right,
That's
right.
A-class, first
right.
class.
And then you got somebody like Doc Holliday who has good shot glass control.
All right. So is gun control
Good
being
movie.
controlling
great
what
movie.
kind of gun you can have, what you can use, what you can shoot, where you can have it? Gun control is not the actual physical control of the gun and being able to handle
Okay,
it
so
and
that's
shoot it
why
right.
that's
Right.
what I'm saying. Define
So it's
gun control.
rules. Oh, gun control could be gun rules,
Mhm.
right? So it all
Mhm.
depends. So you've got to obviously accept.
So
you gotta
here's
expound
what
upon
I
the whole
here's what
conversation.
I will say is that there are already too many from what you just said because it is my right as an American citizen, my right to have and bear arms. Okay, so by running a background, I'm already going against your constitutional right as an American. Okay. All right. Now, if you ask me because I don't own a gun, that's a tough question and a tough debate. It's like the one about abortion. You're never going to win. This is a debate that's never going to win because you're always going to have pro-gun people and anti-gun people. And they'll say, well, all right, well, you've already taken away this man's right because he's got a felony. You've already taken away his right. Now it is his right. So understanding his right, he goes out and buys one off the black market, a shadow or ghost gun, as they would call it. Right. So this is a conversation you can't have because what you have to do is you have to strictly define gun control, gun laws. Right.
So, and I'll just throw this out there, and I apologize to everybody watching because my bald head is glaring.
Yeah.
From the bright lights.
Yeah, right off of that new 216 Creator Studio
Pretty
logo.
awesome. That logo is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the wrong color.
Yeah.
Well, we have it in many colors actually.
Actually, it's right.
Yeah,
Multifaceted.
So anyway, it's for the creator students.
Right.
It's not 216.net. 216.net
Creator
is
students.
the
So
banning fire or banning assault weapons. Well, again, we want to get into a definition of what is an assault weapon.
Right. That's something we gotta
After
totally-
watching that
you
documentary,
can assault
I
anybody
mentioned
with any weapon.
might make
Right.
gun control
My hands are
irrelevant,
weapons.
non whatever that is.
According
Criminals,
to you.
Criminals would love it. Peanut butter. It's not gun control. It's automatic weapons bad. Well,
That's
gun is that's why
Well,
I'm saying.
I know we're right on that line of the peanut butter. I get it.
right.
But I mean, listen, I'm just gonna say one thing, okay? And I'm gonna put this out there. If the plumber comes to your house and hits you over the head with his wrench, do we ban the wrench?
No, that's the person that caused that problem. I'm
Bingo.
saying the guns don't bother me.
Right.
It's the person.
So the
behind it.
control. So the
for
control.
a guy to need to run around with a gun.
So when I talk to, I just need to hold up a sign or something.
No, it's just no.
Okay.
No.
So
You wanna do that?
realistically, hey, I'm gonna just do one of these. Stop.
Wait.
Hold.
Wait.
I'm losing my train of thought. So if that's the case, right?
Welcome to the grounds.
So welcome to the grounds. If that's the case, then there should listen. I have a belief system, and it's mine, and it's mine opinion only.
Yeah.
And if other people share that, great. And if they don't, I don't mean to offend, but nobody's ever died from being offended. So here's the deal: if you control the criminal that can get the gun, and if you take the guns away, they're gonna go find them illegally, and that's gonna become a bigger thing. So now you're taking away the actual option of locating who has what. You're taking a lot of things out of that picture. Okay. You can't ban the wrench because the plumber killed somebody. You can't blame the tool. You got to blame the idiot who
It's
has
the person
the tool.
always.
Right.
Okay.
So
that's how that came onto the gun.
That's where I
were
say
talking about gun control,
right.
not about the guy running through the yard with the gun.
That's where I tell you, you are sensitive to the word gun because you're like, no, it's the guy with it. No, it wasn't, because if I said, some kook was running through my yard at 4 a.m., you're like, okay.
Weird.
Okay.
It changes the narrative though.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But you say it has nothing to do with the gun.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm saying it has everything to do with the gun.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it changes the narrative because that is thrown into the mix, right? Because I can't control that guy that has the gun. Like I said, once again, and then we're already all the way over.
Well, yeah. What did Robert say?
I've never seen a gun kill somebody. It's the person behind it. That's no reason. You got somebody that's running through your neighborhood.
So that's where I'm saying I can't wrap my head around. You should be more excited about the guy running through my yard, whether he's got a gun or he doesn't have a gun. But it wasn't until I said gun where you go, well, that changed the whole narrative. No, it didn't.
It didn't.
Did he run
you know
through
why?
your yard, or was it just
no? It wasn't. It was his neighborhood.
You're getting all kinds of excited over just at being in his neighborhood.
So,
his yard?
so the bottom line is
he didn't have as much emotion that it was in his neighborhood
Right.
that it was happening. That's it.
So the bottom line is
That's it.
You were fine until the word gun came up, and you say that changes the whole narrative. No, it doesn't.
It changes for me. It changes the severity.
Why?
Of what's happening. Because guy running through your neighborhood, even though he can still cause problems, doesn't have the opportunity to hurt as many people from a distance as you would with a gun if he decided to shoot.
Well, maybe he's got grenades.
He can't kill you by throwing a wrench at you. Well, he might. I don't know that. If that was part of the story, that would scare me just as much too. The guy's got grenades.
Yeah, maybe he's got COVID,
and he wasn't wearing.
Well,
a
then
mask.
I'm not worried about that.
Running,
that. Come on,
breathing heavily.
You see what I'm saying?
Give me some immunity.
That's the joy of it, right? Semantics, Robert. Semantics. Ban, not bad. Auto correct issue. Right. Yeah. There you go. All right.
That was an interesting subject.
Listen, stay sensitive, people. Be sensitive to whatever you're sensitive with. Just get rid of desensitive. Go ahead, stay sensitive. You have to be.
Well, it's you know what? I think what this all comes down to, it's your right to feel how you want to feel about something.
Right, but not in your eyes because you were chastising me.
I wasn't chastising.
I just was. I was.
What is this world coming to? You about took your belt off.
Bro. Yeah, right. I was just more surprised at the lack of emotion on that one. That's all it comes down to. Because I love everybody and I want everyone to be safe.
So at the end of this episode, we've just found out how sensitive Scott really is.
I'm a very sensitive person.
He is.
I get offended.
We're in your corner.
What's that?
We're in your corner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am very sensitive because, I would love the utopian society. I know it's not a chance in the world of having that happen. But you know what? If I can help that to happen in my circle, at least a little bit more and a little bit closer,
how gross that would be.
That's what I'm all about.
Just gross. Everybody kumbaya. Just gross.
Coming from the Deke.
Just
Oh
gross.
God. Well, hey guys, we are at the end of the. Well, we're way past the hour.
Listen.
I want to thanks for tuning in.
Listen, everybody, have a great Palm Sunday. This is Palm Sunday, start of Holy Week. So enjoy Holy Week. Today, Catholics, let's make sure you don't eat today. Make sure the Catholics don't eat any red meat. And that's a sin. And come back in about 15 minutes for our good friend Phil Wallace and of course bridging civil tension. What is wrong with this mouse?
No cheese.
The battery might be.
I don't know.
Well, we love you all. Go out, be the change you want to see in the world, guys. We love you. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Fun episode.